As the crisis of illegal migration continues to escalate in this country, on the one hand, we have our Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, going on TV claiming victory because one day there was bad weather and the number of migrants coming into the country illegally was down, and then that was already debunked. And now we're hearing that the government have been ordered to do a bit of a cover-up. They don't want us to see the real footage of people coming into Dover. They want to hide that footage. They don't want you to report on it. They don't want you to know exactly what's going on there, the amount of people coming in. And this is actually thanks to Mark White from GB News, who told us about all this nonsense. And this is raising a lot of questions about the legitimacy of the Home Office and their policies. Are they actually going to do anything about it? Or are they going to just be busy trying to find ways to put a lid on it and cover it up? Let's go to Mark White.
But authorities have been absolutely determined, Patrick, not to allow any small boats to land on a beach because they don't want these images flashed all around the country. They want to show that their plan to stop the boats is working. So that's why we've got rigid inflatables from Border Force patrolling the beaches to ensure that none of these boats get across. It is unusual for a boat to make it this far. Normally, they get intercepted. The Border Force rendezvous with French vessels that normally escort these small boats across at about the halfway point between England and France, and at that point they're picked up. So this one somehow managed to evade Border Force and get almost...
But that is interesting. Just talk to me a little bit about that. So they are desperate, you are saying, for images like the ones that we've managed to get hold of there to not make it out into the public. What? So that they can try to claim that it's working, what's going on in the channel?
Yeah, we've seen not just the fact that Border Force ribs are up there now patrolling the beaches to help prevent any beach landing, but also just the day-to-day filming that we are able to do. You remember about 6 months ago or so, we could go down into Dover Harbour and be up close, really, to these boats when they came in and the migrants on board the boats were being taken up the gangways to the processing centre, but they moved to a new processing centre conveniently in another quay that is not accessible to the media, so you can't get in there to get shots of it. So these shots are taken from the cliff tops, the White Cliffs of Dover, because it's the only place that now the press can get shots of these boats coming in. There is no doubt the authorities don't want us to see this. If that was not the case, we would be allowed access to see them.
So we're having a situation where the government are doing two things. One is, so some of these dinghies and small boats, basically, they were not tracked properly, so they came straight to Dover, and they got to the beach. So on the one hand, what the government have been trying to do is to intercept them early and use Border Force to take them somewhere quiet, somewhere else with the processing centres, so you can't really film. And if they get caught, they are stopping media and also independent journalists from filming them. So, and the second one is not a new problem. It's been going on for a long time. We have had individual independent reporters like Steve Laws. Shout out to Steve Laws for all his work in Dover and Kent. They've been stopped so many times. So many Active Patriot and many others who've been trying to film those areas. They don't let them do it. But now, even the mainstream media channels like GB News, they're not allowed to. They're trying to stop them. So as Mark White was saying, you have to stand on top of a cliff somewhere that is not really approachable by the authorities. And then that's how you can get the footage. That's why they don't want the boats to get there, because that's how you can actually see the footage. It's absolutely embarrassing that the priority for the government is to put a lid on it and to cover up the footage instead of actually tackling the problem properly head on. So this is, I just wanted to let you guys know about what we heard from Mark White on GB News. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.